And your legs can be comfortable wherever they work for you. Let's take a nice shoulder roll. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Get a nice opening through the front side of your body. Let's bring our hands right to our rib cage so we can focus on our breath and breathing into our rib cage. Exhale, blow it out. Rib cage comes in together. Think zip up. So working with your breath, I'm talking, so I can't really do both at the same time. Your inhale, your rib cage is coming to the outside. Think open laterally. When you exhale, bring your rib cage in together. We keep sitting up tall. The reason I say zip up, we're thinking like we have our jeans, we're zipping up, because sometimes we have a tendency when we exhale to push down, but we want to be zipping up instead. So keep focusing on your breath as you open up through your rib cage. Feel that expansion. It can come even to the back rib cage. When you exhale, feel it all come together. Exhale a little deeper. Exhale, exhale, exhale. You can do this 1 or 2 more times depending on how long your inhale, your exhale is. Feel it go a little bit deeper, deeper, deeper into your core. At the end of the last one, I'm going to just add some warm-ups for our body here. Once you finish your breath, take your shoulder rolls up, back, down, and around. Let's take a side stretch as you reach your arm up, lengthen down the left side of your body. Back to center, take your stretch off to the right. It is a gentle twist to the right as you sit up tall. Gentle twist to the left. We will be warming up a little bit more through our spine. These are gentle movements to get started. Feet are coming out in front of you. Wherever you are, we're doing a little hip movement here. So just to get some movement in your hips, I stayed up on the block, but if you're more comfortable taking it down to the floor, feel free to do that. So we're just getting a little movement through our hips. And from this movement, we will all meet on all fours on our hands and knees. You can set your block off to the side. We will have our wrists under our shoulders, knees under hips. It is a cow cat. Inhale is a lift. Top of the head, tailbone drops is an exhale. So now we are gently moving through our spine. See if you can control the movement and move one vertebra at a time. So as you do this, can you feel the movement all the way up through your spine as well as all the way down through your spine? Our shoulders are staying relaxed and the movement is for our spine. Take one more. At the end of this one, we are meeting in neutral. Bring yourself to the center. Now right here, great chance to feel that zip of your core, rib cage comes in. We're adding our twist, so our hand comes behind your head, elbow would lift towards the ceiling, elbow comes towards the floor. Inhale, lift your elbow. Exhale, release your elbow down. Inhale is a lift. Exhale is a release. Now our hips are staying still. This is a movement for our spine. Here's your last one. We are going to thread the needle for a little extra stretch. Fingertips can reach out. Glide the arm under, shoulder stretch. Here comes fingertips of the opposite hand towards the top of the mat. You can use that to relax that shoulder down, get a little more stretch through the backside. We start bringing ourselves back up to all fours. We take it to the other side, opposite hand. Here is the open and the twist down. Inhale up, exhale down. And again, we keep our hips stable and we're letting this movement occur in our mid-upper back. Here's your last one. We reach our fingertips out to the side, slide the arm under, fingertips reach to the top of your mat. Right here, relax the shoulder down. You'll feel a little more stretch through the back side of your body. Bring yourself back to all fours. Nice inhale for your cow cat. Exhale. We are looking to the right, so you're going to look and move your hips. Think of making a C with your spine as you take it from one side to the other. If you are looking at your spine from the ceiling, you would be making a C shape as you move your hips, shoulders to one side and then the other. We finish this one. And we will meet all the way down on our front side so we can give ourselves a sphinx stretch right here. A little more stretch for your back side of your body. Toes can reach away, elbows down, lengthen right here. So in a sphinx pose, you're pressing into your elbows, you're sliding, pretend sliding your elbows towards your hips, and we're lifting our rib cage up. But we want to make sure we're nice to our low back. If you're crunching in your low back, you would release down, let the top of your head sweep forward, and then lift up. Take one more breath here. We release. It will be a nice child's pose. Puppy pose is up a little higher, so if you're more comfortable staying up in a puppy pose with your hips a little higher, feel free to do that. Give your wrist a nice stretch. You might choose to lift your palms off the mat. You're on your fingertips. We bring ourselves into all fours. We're coming right into our balance work. So wrist, check, make sure they're underneath your shoulders. Knees are under your hips. Here comes the core, zip it, bring the rib cage in. Take your foot behind. You can add your little stretch, press your heel back. You'll feel some nice lengthening in the back side of your leg. We return, so you want to make sure you're centered before you start. Leg would lift up. Here comes the opposite arm for some balance. And now let's check to see, are you pressing your heel away? Did you keep your core engaged as well as bringing your rib cage in and together? What is your head doing? Do you have it lifted? Do you have it dropped? Or do you have it right in a nice long line with the rest of your spine? Set your arm and leg down. We switch to the other side. Opposite leg goes back. Little press through the heel. That should feel nice. Stretch down the back side of your leg. Center yourself. Core, zip it. Bring it in. Lift the leg. Opposite arm. It's your balance. Take one more breath. Release your arm and leg. We are taking this right into our downward dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, press your hips back. Give yourself a nice stretch here. Now, if you like to bring your legs a little closer or your feet, feel free to do that. We are going to be gliding back and forth, often taking the width of your plank works best. From here, slide forward to your plank pose. You're going to bring yourself forward, engage your glutes. Bring in your rib cage, zip your core. Downward dog, lift your hips, press back, slide forward into your plank pose. Hold your plank. Downward dog, hips go up. Here's your plank. Slide forward. Hips go up. Walk your hands to your feet. Knees can always soften. We are rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders come back, roll your shoulders back. We're doing some of our exercises in our standing position, starting with some squats. I'm gonna take my feet a little wider today. It's your squat, so you take it where it works best for you. And you wanna feel hips go back. And maybe because it's our first couple of squats, you keep it a little bit smaller and you focus. Hips sliding back, engage, press through your feet, use your glutes, hamstrings on the way up. Nice counterbalance, arms out to the front as you slide down and up. We have 2 more. At the end of this one, we are going right into some lunges. You're stepping 1 foot back, add your lunge, bring yourself up, switch sides. We're stepping back, lunge down, press, bring it up. Here's the step, the lunge, up. On the next one, we're gonna hold the lunge. So once you get there, hold the lunge. You're gonna wanna make sure you step far enough back, back knee goes down, squeeze the glute. Let's add little pulses down. You're gonna add a little pulse and pulse. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself up. We take it to the other side. First, solid lunge. That means our knees are at 90. Check your front knee. Back knee is coming down towards the floor. If you have really tight hip flexors, you might feel they're shooting in your hip. Sometimes you feel it in your knee when you have tight hip flexors. Here's your little pulse and pulse. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. And we're going right into our single-legged deadlift. We'll alternate sides as you bring it forward. There's your balance, your strength. You bring yourself up, switch to the other side. Here is warrior 3, single-legged deadlift down, bring it up. Remember your options. If your low back ever bothers you when you do these, keep your back foot down and then you bring yourself up. They are just as effective. You have to be nice to your body and do the version that works for you. We're gonna keep going, but on your next one, add a twist. So when you go down, add a twist with your upper body. Bring it back to center, stand up tall. Here comes your down, your twist. Let's do 2 more on each side, whichever version works for you, as well as going at the pace that works for you. So when you finish, we can meet in a standing position and we'll add alternating knee lifts. So take your time, finish your move, and then when you're ready, join us as you take alternating knee lifts. We're working on our balance here. You lift a knee, you pause. You lift a knee, you pause. So I am adding one more element. I have my wall nearby, which I am going to use. I did this on Monday. We are adding a heel lift as you lift your knee. You would lift your knee, add a heel lift. Even with the wall, I messed up. Here comes knee up, lift your heel, bring it down, and switch. So we are trying to do it without the wall, but it's there if you want it. If you have your desk nearby, maybe the table, or maybe I'm going rock and rolling as I try to Try to do it without the wall. It's a little wobbly. We have one more on each side. So the reason I brought this in is because I know how good everybody is getting when we do the heel lifts with both of our feet on the floor. So I wanted to add a little challenge to progress into a new move. Right there, let's go ahead, shake it out, take it right into your plies as you take your feet out wide. Toes are out towards the corner. We're sliding down in our plie. You press, you bring it up. We slide down, we press, we bring it up. Think, knees are opening over your toes. So you might need to adjust where your feet are so that your knees can track over your toes. That is one of those items. It's a good way to know that you're in good alignment. On this next one, bring yourself down, keep yourself down. And then we're going to add little pulses up. It's your little lift and lift, lift and lift. Here's your 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now hold it down. We're going to hold it down. Arms can be wherever they work for you. It is our balance as we lift our heels. Both of our heels go up. Hold it right here. How is your balance today? Is it working for you? Go ahead, let your heels come down. We stand all the way up. Take a side lunge, side to side. There's your lunge and your lunge. Again, now this is a good time to check. Knees track, they follow your toes. It's about pushing your hips back. That's how we protect our knees when we do these type of movements. You're sliding side to side. Our core, a little bit more work. Fingertips go out to the side. Hips are pressing back. Finish each side, meet in the center. Bring yourself up tall, toes straight ahead. Nice little stretch here. Hinge. Maybe you stay right here. Feel the stretch through your hamstrings. If you like to take it lower, fingertips to the mat. That's a great spot to hold it. Use your block if you would like. Maybe you're a person that feels fabulous when you take yourself all the way down into your forward fold. This is one of those moves you choose where it fits your body best. Bring yourself all the way up. Hands would come to your hips. Gently bring yourself up. Knees would go soft. Up slow. That is done so we don't get dizzy. So we take that little pause often so that we don't get dizzy. We're going to move on to our push-ups. Rolling down right into your tricep push-ups. Bring your chin to your chest. Rolling down, one vertebrae at a time. Once you get there, you're walking your hands out into your plank. Solid plank. Remember, tricep push-ups, they can be on your knees, your toes. Knees can even slide in closer if that feels best. Make sure your shoulders are back. You're zipping your core. Here's your down and up. So our focus here, the back of your arms. What we want to make sure is that we avoid crunching through our neck and our shoulders. So you want to make sure you're sliding down, letting your elbows come back fairly close to your rib cage. Again, that might depend on your shoulder joint. We have 3 more. Here's your 2. Take your last one. It is your stretch of choice. I like to come all the way back and stretch out my arms this way, but you might like to take a child's pose. We have another set to go. So once you take your little break, stretch out your arms, bring yourself back into your setup. Wrists are still under our shoulders. We zip the core, rib cage in. Here's your down and up. We slide down, press, bring it up. Slide down, press, bring it up. Now we use our breath to help us in the movement. Focus more on the exhale as you do the more effort in the movement, which in this particular one, it would be the press up. Here's your 3. Here's your 2. Take your last one, give yourself a stretch wherever that is. It could be your child's pose. It could be coming up high, shaking out your arms. We are doing a 3rd set. If your wrists are tired, give them a little shake out. Remember your options. You can always use weights. Try to keep your wrists straighter. Do it on the wall. You won't have as much pressure on your wrist, or maybe an elevated area. One more set right here. Core zips. Your choice, 3rd set. Maybe you're on your toes. It is your down and up. Now remember, our hips stay level, so we don't want our hips to dip down. If by chance they do dip down, we want to squeeze our glutes a little, and throughout our workout today, especially in like bridge poses, focus on strengthening your hips a little bit more, and you'll be able to keep them lifted. Here comes your last one, and then press back. Give yourself a nice stretch. Wherever that stretch is, from there, we are going to be moving right onto our front side so that we can work our back. We'll be doing our reach and pull. We're going to be doing some lifts for our mid-upper back. And of course, we'll be adding some swimming so we can get our upper and lower body combined. Starting with the reach and pull, fingertips to the front, toes are reaching away. This one, feet are down on the mat. If it bothers your low back, take your feet a little wider. Keep your head in alignment. Here comes the lift of your upper body. Pull your core in. Here's the resist. Pull your arms back. Reach. It is the pull for your exhale. Reach to the front. Pull back. We reach to the front. We pull back. It is a reach and a pull. Reach and pull. Are you pressing your toes down into the mat as you reach and pull? Right here, we relax down. Let your forehead or cheek come to the mat. Little shake of your hips if that feels good. Big toes together is another great option. Our second move is going to be our lifting up with our elbows out. Now, depending what your shoulder joints are like, you might prefer having your hands under your forehead. I'll be taking my hands behind my head. It's just a personal preference, so you choose which one works for you. Our feet are going to stay down, so press the tops of your feet into the mat. Take your lift of your upper body and gentle halfway down. We lift up, we release down. Here comes the lift and the release. Use your breath. The exhale would be on your lift. That's where the effort is. Check in. Are your toes pressing down into the mat? And that would include your baby toe. We have one more. Take one more as you lift up. Hold it up here. Hold it up. Hold it up. Let your arms release. Bring them by your thighs. Reach your fingertips. Lengthen. And now, as long as it doesn't bother your back, feet come up off the mat. You're in a locust pose. Hold it right here. And then gently release down, forehead or cheek to the mat. Our last move here will be our swimming type movement. We are going to start with it in slow motion. Take your gaze towards your mat. Toes are gonna reach away. So sometimes you'll see me really reach my toes. That's me getting my legs out of my low back. Here is the lift of your upper and lower body, just a little hover. Now let's lift, opposite arm, opposite leg. Pause, hold it, release. Take the other side. Lift and pause, hold it, release down. Lift, pause, release. So think lift, pause. Now when you lift, what is your upper body doing? Did you keep your torso level as you take the lift? That's engaging and having stability through our torso as you lift and switch. When you're ready, if you like your swimming motion quicker, feel free to take it at a quicker pace. If you like this slower pace, keep it a little slower. We'll do it for a count of 8. Whatever your 8 is, it would be your 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, release it. Give yourself a nice little break. Forehead, cheek to the mat. Little shake of your hips. Again, a nice release. Big toes come together. Heels fall open. It is from there we would press back. Now you might like to take a cow cat as we bring ourselves up off the mat. Maybe you like to take a child's pose. This is more of an extended puppy pose. You're staying a little higher, giving yourself a little break right here. We're bringing ourselves all the way through the seated. We are starting with our boat pose type movement today. So before we take it all the way down to the floor, we're going to challenge our core a little bit. I'll be keeping my feet down on the floor. Remember, you're more than welcome to lift your shins parallel to the floor. Here comes the slide back as you come into your boat pose. Core should be engaged. You should feel the core engaged, but we also want to make sure we're open through our collarbone, our chest. So if you're rounding, can you let yourself open up? And then we also let our face relax. Sometimes we like to clench our face. Let's let the core do the work and the rest of our body soften up a little bit. We're bringing ourselves all the way up. When you get up, reach through the top of your head. Here comes this slide back. You might be comfortable staying here. Remember, you can always lift your feet. That is more challenging. Hands can stay behind your thighs. I'll be lifting mine up. It changes the move just a little bit. Feet up or down, lifted feet. That's an added challenge. We bring ourselves all the way up. Here comes that tall, sitting up through the top of your head. And now we slide back one more time. There's the slide back. Lots of choices. Arms can be to the front. They can be lifted. I am opening mine to the side. It changes how your core feels. And this is one of those moves. I don't know if this happens to you, but we were talking about body quakes. When I hold this particular move, I get the quivering as I hold the pose. Remember to breathe, soft face. And now we bring ourselves all the way up, sit tall, top of the head towards the ceiling. We are giving ourselves a little break here so the bottoms of the feet come together. Sitting tall, option 1, hinge forward. That may be the option. If you're hinging, can you let your shoulders relax and let this stretch happen through your lower body? Remember, feet can always go further away if that feels better when you take your hinge forward. From here, we are going to take it all the way down to the mat so we can get started with some of our crunching. I'm going to be rolling down. I'll hold on to my thighs on the way down. You can always do it straight legs. That's more challenging. Once you get down there, let's just do a couple bridges, and that's to help us get our spinal curve. Arms are by your side, heels under hips. Little half lift, tap your tailbone down. Half lift, tap your tailbone down. It's your lift and your tap. It's a lift and a tap. So I'm using this for us to get our natural spinal curve, little different for everybody. but it means that we're keeping a little bit of space right in the lower section of our back. Now on this last one, you're gonna keep your hips down. We'll go right into crunches. Hands can come behind your head. You add your exhale lift, release down. So we got our natural spinal curve when we were doing our bridges. When we do our crunch here, it's about the front of our core, so we can keep our natural spinal curve. That means our hips are staying stable. You're using your exhale, you're lifting your shoulders off the mat. And there's your lift and your lower. It's a lift and a lower. Keep the upper body down here. We're going to march our legs. You can take one at a time or take both of them together. Which one works for you? This is a little bit more engagement through the lower section of our core, but you should be able to do this if you're lifting both of your legs. Shoulders are still relaxed, and we're relaxed in the upper body. We really want to use our core to lift and lower our legs together. From this move, we are going right into the 100. So keep going, I'll tell you when. If you want to take the 100 with both your feet down on the floor, you can do that. If you like to take the 100 with the feet lifted, that is more challenging. Choose that one. Here it comes. Finish up the movement that you want on each side. I'll be keeping my feet down, at least in the beginning. Here comes that big exhale as you lift. Remember, inhale 5, exhale 5. Here's your count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Quick little release for your neck, your shoulders. Look right, look left. We go right into our single leg stretch. One leg out, one in. Option, shoulders up or down. Which one is the one that is best for you today? Remember, our goal is to work our core. So if you're straightening in your neck or your shoulders, you're missing the work in your core. There's your switch and your switch. Use your breath. Exhale and exhale. 4, 3, 2, both your legs come in, both your legs go out. Again, head, shoulders up or down. Legs, they only go as low as you have full control. So your legs might be lower or higher than mine. It is wherever you have control over the movement. We are taking 4 more here. Here's your 3, so you know where we're going. We are going right into a scissors movement from here. Take your last one. Toes are up towards the ceiling. Here comes the scissors movement. I might start a little smaller as you get the movement. A nice little tidbit. When you're doing this movement, get a little outward rotation. Knees are going out diagonal, so you avoid taking it all in your hip flexors. Your core should be zipping up. Rib cage is coming in. We're adding one more movement onto this. Here is your 4, 3. It is going right into a bicycle movement. You are going to take your hands behind, shoulder comes up, and take it across. Here is the lift and the extension. Now we're going to take our time as you lift. Shoulder off and then switch. Exhale, lift, and then switch. Feel the lift each time so you're really engaged in your obliques. Use your exhale. There's your 4, 3, 2. We are taking a little break right here. It might be knees to chest for a hug. You might prefer a long stretch as you reach from your fingertips to your toes. We are moving into our bridge move, so you'll get a little break from the crunching type movement as we focus more on the back side of our body. Heels are coming under your knees. Little side note, if your knees ever bother you in your bridge, adjust where your feet are. They might need to go a little further away from you or a little closer. Micro movements can change what you're feeling in your joints. Toes straight ahead. Let's start with just a lift and lower. So you're going to get the feeling right here as you lift up. So our focus is going to now be on our glutes and our hamstrings. On your next one, lift halfway up. We're going to stay at the halfway mark, not all the way up. Feel your feet ground into the mat. You're going to ground your feet down and then gently pull your heels towards your shoulders. They're not really moving. It's an isometric movement so you can feel the engagement in your glutes and your hamstrings. From here, we're going to lift our hips just a little bit more if you can. Always be nice to your low back. Ground into your foot. Let's take our right one down, left one up. We're adding our reach to the front, reach to the ceiling. So now we're focused on the foot, the leg on the floor. That's the hamstring that's doing the work. The goal is to keep your hips in the same place as you move your leg. Remember to breathe, right? We are adding 2 more on. Here comes one. Here comes the second one. Toes are going to stay towards the ceiling, and you add your lift and lift. It's your little pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the foot down. We have 2 sides. Ground the foot. Lift the hips, toes go up towards the ceiling. Feel the engagement on the bottom leg. Add your reach and your lift. Reach and lift. Remember to breathe. If you start holding your breath, think exhale. There's your 4. Are your hips staying lifted? Here's your 2. Toes are staying towards the ceiling. It's your little lift and lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the foot down. We will gently let our hips come down. Knees can come together, feet open up. Once that feels okay, little windshield wiper with your legs. Once that feels good, it is your butterfly bound ingo legs. Nice little release for your low back, hips, but we're adding our crunches as well. Hands are behind your head. Add your exhale and lift. Here comes your exhale and lift. Now, if you would like to add your lower body, please feel free to add those in. It's not a great move for me, so I skip that part, but it's a great challenging move. So if it feels good and it's the challenge that you want today, lift your lower body as well as your upper body. Here is your 3. Here is your 2. We take our last one. Give yourself a nice long stretch. You're going to reach from your fingertips to your toes. And from here, we are going to take it onto our side for a side plank. So set yourself up. We are going to take it on our elbow, so it will be a low side plank. I'll be keeping my bottom knee down. If you like the pose with your feet stacked or staggered, do that. We are lifting up our hips. Option, hand can stay by the side. I'm going to be lifting mine up, and then gaze can be towards your hand, or you can keep it straight ahead. But let's lift our hips, and today let's add little pulses, little lift and lift. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Can you hold it just a little bit longer? We're going to hold it, hold it, hold it. And then gently release yourself down. Before we go to the other side, we're going to do some exercises. We're doing our high kneeling gate pose type movement for our outer hips, outer thighs. I'll be taking a block because I like to use a block when I set myself up. We're on our knees, foot is out to the side. 3 different levels on your block: high, medium, and low. So just so you know, you can always play around with the level. We're going to be working our outer thigh. I'm going to take my arm up and we're going to bring them together. Here comes the lift of your arm and leg, and then you set it down. It's a lift, squeeze, you bring it down. Use your breath as you exhale. Lead with your heel. We have 3 more. Is your core zipping up? Here's your 2. Now you are going to lift your leg one more time. Arm can stay by your thigh. Point your toes, add your circles. Zip, 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 strong center. Now we switch, other direction. And go ahead, release it right here. As you take it over to the other side, nice little, maybe little hip circles, little stretches as you let them go. We have the other side to go. Set yourself up, block, high, medium, low. Totally depends on you. Where does it feel best? Once you have that, we're setting ourselves up as you lift your arm and leg and then release. Here's the lift and the lower. Foot is flexed and we lead with the heel. This isn't about how high the leg goes. We want to stay engaged. So we're working more of the outer hip, the outer thigh. We do want to keep our core engaged to help support our back as we make the movement. We have 2 more. Here comes the lift on this one. Arm can stay down, point your toes. We have our circles. Zip, zip the core. Remember to breathe. Switch directions. Take it around. Circle, circle, circle. Release it. Give yourself a nice little stretch through your hips. It could be side to side. You might do little hip circles. Whatever feels good. I didn't forget, we have our side planks on the other side. Bring yourself into your side plank. If you prefer doing it higher, that's perfectly fine. If you want to be on your hand instead of your elbow, it changes what the pose feels like. You can be on both your feet, so they could be stacked or staggered. You're going to lift your hips. Fingertips can be raised. If you would prefer, you can bring it down. It changes the move a little bit. Here's the little hip lifts for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up, hold it, hold it. Stay strong right here. And when you come out of this, it is a low plank. Set yourself up so you're on both your elbows. Knees can be on the floor. Zip your core so you're strong in your center. Toe, knees up or down. We're holding our low plank. Remember Top of the head is keep reaching. So if you're dropping your head, keep it lifted. And one more little challenge before we finish off here. Lift one leg, a little pause. Set the leg down, switch, lift, pause, release. One more time each side. It's a little lift, a pause. Set it down. Here comes the lift, pause. Set it down, hold the plank, hold it, hold it, hold it. And let yourself come into a Sphinx pose. Toes reach away. Nice long stretch through the top of your head. Release all the way down. We're taking a quadricep stretch while we're here. So you can relax your upper body. Bring your heel towards your glutes. If you feel a nice stretch, stay here. Option to reach back. Add this stretch as you press the hip down into the mat. Release this side, and we take it to the other side. Now, if you are not feeling a nice stretch in the front of the thigh, think about knees together, and then you would gently let your hips press down into the mat, and that increases the stretch just a little bit. Release the leg down here. I am adding a shoulder stretch while we're here. Fingertips can reach out to the side. You're gonna roll yourself over. So it's a stretch for your pecs, your chest, as well as your shoulder. Foot can come back. You might even feel a nice stretch through the front side of your top leg as well. Return to the front side. We're going to do the other side, so arm is out. You add your little move over. And again, maybe you feel a stretch down the front of your thigh or quad. We're getting big, huge stretch through our shoulders, our chest. Well, I guess that depends how tight your chest and shoulders are. We bring ourselves back to the center. Let's press back into a nice child's pose. Hips can go back. I'm tapping my toes, giving the bottom of my feet a stretch, as well as stretching through the upper body. We start bringing ourselves up. It is going to be our 90-90 stretch. So we're coming through to seated. Take your right leg out to the front. That's 90 degrees here. Foot is flexed. Back leg is out. That's 90 degrees. Your right hip, let's see if we can keep it settling down into the mat. Your left hip might be up a little bit, or if your hips are more open, you might be relaxed all the way down into the mat. Now to add a little more stretch here, bring your chest over your thigh, and there is the settling, relaxing down into the mat. Now you can always add additional items. You can reach your fingertips out to the front. I'm reaching my right arm out. You're giving yourself more of a stretch through the hip, if that feels okay. We start bringing ourselves up. Two sides, that means we're taking it left leg to the front, right leg back. Once you're here, chest is over. There comes the stretch. Again, if you want more, extend your left arm out. You'll get your little sinking a little deeper into your hip as you take this stretch. Bring yourself all the way up. We're going to swing our feet out to the front. We're having both of our feet in front of us right here. Now bring your right foot to the inside of your thigh. Left leg is out to the front. Hamstring stretch. Chest is over your thigh, your quad. So you might have added a little bit of a twist right here. Now, if your knee bothers you on the right side, use your block underneath your knee or move the leg. This leg is here for fun. We're stretching our hamstring. Start bringing yourself up so you can bring the right knee up. We're adding a twist while we're here. Take the left foot over your thigh. So we're going to sit up tall, and you're going to bring the knee in. So we can use this stretch specifically to stretch the outer part of our thigh or the piriformis area in our glute area. You can also use it to take a nice gentle twist as you look to the right. So where do you want this stretch? What does your body need most right now? Release yourself to the front. We're switching sides. So now your left foot would come inside your thigh. You're adding your lean over. Now maybe you feel a fabulous stretch when you're up a little higher. It's not about how low you can go into the stretch. It's about where do you place yourself to get a really nice stretch in certain areas of your body. This one is meant for our hamstrings. So you might feel the stretch better high versus when you go lower, because it changes where the stretch is depending where your upper body is. We bring ourselves all the way up. You're lifting your left knee. We're taking our stretch here. So foot is coming to the outside. You're sitting up tall, hug the knee in. Add your twist if you want it, but you can always focus more on getting it in the thigh and your hip. Bring yourself back to center. Take your feet out wide. Here's our wide angle stretch. Toes are up towards the ceiling. Knees are up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees if you feel like you're rounding. This stretches for our inner thighs. It could be for your hips. You might feel it a little in your low back. Remember, stretching, you might feel tension. That's usually what we feel is some tension. If it's pain, you back out of this stretch. Start bringing yourself all the way up. The bottoms of our feet can come together as you take one more butterfly bound angle pose here. Sit up nice and tall. Little hinge as long as it feels good. Start bringing yourself all the way up. We're staying in a seated position. I am going to sit on the block. Just feels better because we're going to stretch out our upper body a little bit. So I'm going to take my block, have a seat on it. If you prefer kneeling, I know some people kneeling feels nice. Feel free to kneel or make any adjustments. Even when we're here, if you feel better in a nice butterfly pose instead of crossing your legs all the way, choose that. We're taking our shoulders up, back, and down. We're opening our chest. Give yourself a big opening through your chest here. Hug a big ball as you stretch between your shoulder blades. Inhale, open up, lift your chest towards the ceiling. Hug a big ball as you round. This time, open. We sweep the right arm across the front of your body. It's a shoulder tricep stretch as you take the arm across. Arm opens, left arm sweeps across, shoulder tricep stretch. Open your arm, reach both your arms up, clasp your hands, flip your palms towards the ceiling, lengthen in your waistline, get a little taller. Release your hands. You can bring the left arm down. We're going to take your right shoulder. Give yourself a nice stretch through your neck. Now, don't add too much pressure. Be nice right here. Both your arms reach up. We switch. Right arm comes down. Left ear, left shoulder. Reach both arms up. As you exhale, fingertips come slightly behind your hips. You're lifting up, opening your chest towards the ceiling. Sit tall. Bring your chin to your chest for your neck and a back stretch. Chin goes to the left shoulder. Chin goes to center. Now to the right shoulder. Chin is to your chest. Lift your head all the way up. Look to the right. Look to the left. Look to the front. Big shoulder roll. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. From here, it is your inhale. We inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, blow it out 2 more times. It is your inhale. Exhale, blow it out 1 more time. Here comes your inhale. Exhale, blow it out. And thank you all very much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow.